Arthur?
I don't know how Art should feel about this. Steve said, good luck, Art, and you said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I don't mean that. He knows what I mean.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Art, have at it.
So, yeah, we've got a few line items. I'm going to hit the highlights or the biggest deviations during this. So we're going to slide right down to computer equipment and licensing. We were able to reduce that a little bit because we've been a little bit ahead of the game on purchasing equipment, computer equipment. Next one, you'll see a 643% increase capital purchase of equipment, and that is for the replacement of the generator and the electrical at Mill Creek Pump Station. That is north of 30 years old. The electrical components, the breaker boxes, the conduit is rotting. So we're going to do that all at once and get it, take the station down, put it on standby power, and get it all done in one fell swoop. Now we're going to slide down to, where are we going to go next? We got a lot of lower items percentage-wise. Maintenance lift stations, just again, they only went up 9% from 55,000 to 60,000. Wet well cleaning, we dropped a couple $1,000s. We're doing more and more of that ourselves with both flush trucks. There's still a couple wet wells that are too deep and or unsafe to send our staff down into, so we do farm some of that out. The commercial billing software, percentage-wise, 25%, but it's like $500. That is the new software we're implementing currently to give better service to our commercial clients, actually, and to put out, be able to take credit cards. They'll be able to, we'll send the invoices by email, and we'll be saving a lot of postage on that as well. We're going to go down to sewage treatment, G8130. Capital purchase, the largest thing there is a loader and or forklift for the dryer building and our receiving area up top. We don't know what that's going to be yet, and until we get functioning out there, then we'll really drill down into what piece of equipment is appropriate. Again, computer equipment and licensing, we're able to drop that 42%. Payroll time software up 18%. That sort of just software cost. Sludge hauling, G81340372. That's going from 573,000 down to 360, and that 360 we're keeping in there because we are planning on. And we have to plan on being conservative, sending all of our dry product to the landfill, pending New York State legislation. I think you've all heard about that they're considering banning any land application of Class A fertilizers. So it is approved in the Senate, stopped at the House. So we're planning to financially send it all to landfill if we have to. Heating contract maintenance, that is up from 10,000 to 14,000. That's a very easy one. We have 4 new heating systems. We have 4 new DOAS systems. DOAS systems really control the outside air in the buildings and keeping everything at code. All of that needs to be maintained at a professional level. Again, computer maintenance is driven by IT. Sludge dryer maintenance, so that's 36,000. So what that is, it's a plan for our distributor, our vendor partner, to come in once a month to spend 8 hours with our staff to run the machine, to help them run the machine, and to maintain it. I plan for that once a month, and as we Jen, will take a question.
No.
Oh, okay. So we planned on it once a month. Rick and I's plan is we will not need that as we go on, but we're planning for it. You know, they'll really tell us from the get-go, and these are guys that have run these things down at Endicott. That guy they fired, so, you know, how to clean the belts, how to maintain it and everything, so, we plan for that. Centrifuge preventative maintenance, down to 0. So we're hoping we can sell that thing.
Barely hanging on.
Barely hanging on. So, calibration repair went up a little bit. We just have so many sensors, meters, level sensors within the facility, and we're adding more as we go. So those need to be third-party calibrated and tested on an annual basis. Cleaning services and supplies, that went up because we do have, with all the new buildings going in, we have a tremendous amount more to clean. That we're actually looking to look at other vendors for that, to try to drive that down. Generator repair, so that $6,000 is for the current 800 kW plant generator, and that is for service twice a year. And we also added in dollars for any repairs that may come up. Oils and greases, that increased from 5,000 to 7,000. It's just, it seems that every new piece of equipment we're putting in takes a different oil or a different grease. And we will not deviate from what the manual says. So if it takes X grease or X oil, we will use that and we will change it, you know, when the manual states. So lab analysis is going down a little bit. We're doing more of it in-house, and Rick has asked some of the caught up on some of the hurdles that tests that haven't been done for years and years. Natural gas has gone up. That fires the dryer. Electricity obviously is going up, and water a little bit because we have so many more areas to clean. Although we do our best to use effluent water, there's still areas we need to use potable water, and we also, with the 2 flush trucks, when we fill out of some of the hydrants, we actually get charged for that. So, I'm going to pass it to you at this point.
Employee benefits. Yeah, the 2 line items that have gone up quite a bit are medical insurance for the employees, that's up about 13%, and the medical insurance for the retirees is up about 30%. We've seen a very large increase in the Medicaid, Medicare supplement policies, so that's being reflected in this year's budget. But so overall, benefits are up about 70,000 in that range. You want to talk about revenue or? Yeah.
So I think the biggest one is it's the high strength organic waste, and that is obviously one of the cores of why we're doing what we're doing, and we're having this ability to generate that revenue because of that 1.1 million gallon digester. This is product from Fairlife, it is product from others, it's pumpable. People all call it food waste, I guess is the easiest way to say it. That goes directly into our digester, and that is food for the digester. That does not run through the plant and does not get processed chemically. Fairlife rents, we're estimating them at just south of $500,000. And those 2, and along with septic waste, those 3, Rick and I have been very, very conservative on those, and we think they're good numbers. From what we've been told, we've actually partnered with a local septic hauler, one of the biggest, to try to calculate those numbers. Xerox rents, as we know, Xerox is getting smaller by the year, so we've reduced that. Sewer inspection, TV sewer inspection, it's just a flat number, dropped about 17%. In that construction, I think we all know in Webster, it's sort of slow at the moment, and we see that moving forward. Penfield sewer rents, I reached out to Penfield is obviously slow as well. I think they told me they have 2 new homes scheduled for next year. So their rents are definitely decreasing.
It's coming to an end.
Coming to an end. So back to you, sir.
Interest earning is based conservatively based on history. It's at 100,000 for the year, flat year to year. We've got an appropriation of about $500,000 year to year, which is we're using fund balance to balance the budget. And move on to capital charges.
Capital charges, absolutely. So building improvements, we're keeping flat. We do need to keep some dollars in there. As much new construction as we have going on, there are many buildings that aren't being touched, the exterior or roof. Engineering consultants will stay the same. Capital improvement pump stations, we were able to lower that a little bit. Over the past, I'm going to say 6 years, we've done a very good job of methodically going through our 22 pump stations and upgrading them from pumps to control systems to whatever it may be. We're going to, and generators, quite honestly. We're going to continue that step-by-step approach, and that has paid dividends in overtime hours and keeping staff home at night and not working in the dark at night, which is unsafe. Capital improvement collections. This is cleaning and lining of sanitary sewer mains. We have numerous mains that are cracked and being infiltrated with roots, which are causing backups. One of the things we purchased last year was a manhole camera, which is on hold, and with that, it's been very efficient with our flushing, and it's allowed us to identify some of the worst areas.
Debt service. All right, we actually had our band and cereal bond sale on Tuesday of this week, and we took the band that was outstanding for the conveyance pipe project to a cereal bond. That's a taxable bond. The interest rate came in around 4.5% for that one, which we're expecting it to be higher because it's taxable. But the band, we're borrowing about $66.4 million for the big project. Came in very good when the interest rate net of the band premium was 2.6662%. It was very good. I had originally budgeted 3.5%. I wanted to have some margin in there, but I wasn't expecting quite that big of a delta, so it's a very good thing. So it ended up I ended up saving about $637,000 in interest on the sewer side, so it was a very good thing. But overall, since we're borrowing more, debt service is actually, the cost of debt service is actually up about $563,000 when you net everything out. But it's as expected. I think that's about it. Then we have similar revenue items for the capital side, which basically pays for the infrastructure and the debt service on current projects and previous projects.
Would you talk about the transfer to sewer capital reserve, please?
Yeah.
Again, that's something I'm very proud of.
Yep.
Can you do that?
Yeah, we've actually built in a $300,000 transfer to the sewer capital reserve. So basically it's going to be held in surplus or a reserve to be used for future projects. The reserve fund currently has about $2.4 million in it. We've hit it quite a few times over the past few years. So we need to continue to replenish it, so the fact that we can build it into the budget is a very good thing.
Very smart thing to do.
Was
Thanks.
remiss at the beginning of this to mention that unfortunately Rick was unable to be here. He planned on it, but he had something come up that he could not join us, so. Any questions?
Yeah, just on the utilities end, on the natural gas in 2024, your actual was 24,465, and I understand, it's budgeted for 2026 at 160,000. I understand it's a dryer. The dryer's it's going to use that much natural gas, you're assuming, or you're planning on?
Yes, that's the expectation, yes. It's a gas-fired dryer.
Did you just also, because I'm really looking forward to this dryer building coming online. I did not think that we were still going to be spending that much money on hauling it to the landfill.
So remember, if you will, the initial plan, right, when we got into this, was to be able to give it away.
Right.
And we've always kept, again, Rick and I, being conservative, we've always kept a number of 200,000 in there. But with the New York State legislation, and those are leading New York State, want to ban it. This was our plan in the event they ban Class A fertilizer from land application. We had to cover it somewhere in the budget. So it'll be far less than, it'll be less than we normally haul out as far as weight, right? Because it's only going to be 10% water instead of 70% water. But this is worst case scenario.
Okay.
You have to send it all out. That's what we plan for.
The legislation has not gone through yet, correct?
It is not, and I believe Rick is very much in tune to Albany and so forth, but I believe the Senate has passed it. It is stalled in the House.
Yeah, it's been held up right now.
Right, but it still needs some a lot of advocating on our part and everybody's part to make sure that doesn't happen. So again, John, we want to put in worst case scenario situations.
Yep.
There may be times, or will be times, that we are setting wet cake out. We have a conveyor being installed in the middle of that system. If the dryer's down, if it's down for maintenance, we need to still keep processing. It'll shoot it out the side of the building into a dumpster. So there still may be times,
Right.
very small quantities, but
Do you track that by month,
what's that?
what you're spending on hauling?
We track it by day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
we get weight tickets per day.
It'll be interesting to see the reduction as we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back, when we started this project, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think it was, I think for every one dumpster we send out now would be like, it'd be six dumpsters to one dumpster, I'm sorry. So 6 dumpsters of what we send out now would be equate to 1 dumpster in the future.
Wow.
Because there's very little water in anything, so it's just all.
That's great.
Joe Moore?
What's that? Unless there's questions.
Any questions, Jenny, John?
I'm good.
All right, well, I can't let this moment pass, all right? Art Patrone, our deputy DPW commissioner, joined the town, I want to say in 2017, Arthur?
So,
And he was brought in to really oversee the $12 million Phase 1 sewer renovation project of mostly the secondary clarifiers. And that was Art's specialty, since he had worked for Christian Construction Management and actually had been the construction manager for this courthouse and the town hall building back in 15 and 16.
had nothing to do with that post.
Okie dokie. I hold it against him. Anyway, I will say this, that Art, his last day with the town is next Wednesday, August 13th. 8 years. And Art, I gotta tell you, he walked into a situation, He managed the $12 million Phase 1 project to under budget and really on time or ahead of time. And then he really has been managing the $85 million Phase 2 project that we have a contract of with Navitas on energy performance. And I think he's done a wonderful job managing that. To give you some perspective, and I know people are saying, oh my God, the debt and all this. The sewer business, and it is a business, the sewer plant is a business. These upgrades that Art has been, pivotal and leading the charge on managing, took our actual business in 2021 was $3.8 million was sewer. In 22, it was $4.6 million. In 23, it was $4.6 million. In 24, it was $6 million. In 25, it's budgeted at $8.9 million. And this 26 budget is budgeted at $11.1 million. That business has grown from $3.8 million in 21 to what we anticipate in 26 to be $11.1 million. Now the reality is the business is funded by users. He took over a plant that had 17,000 users in 2021. Majority of them being residents, an EDU, an equivalent dwelling unit. You see it on your tax bill in January. You got an O&M, operations and maintenance or whatever, and then a capital. And in 2021, we charged the citizens, I want to say it was, and it's on the Excel spreadsheet that I handed out as a preamble to this, we were at $187 that we charged the citizens. And essentially we charged our other 1,500 EDUs, which was commercial and industrial clients, that same rate. We have moved that rate up over the last few years, and in fact, this year in 25, it's $253, and next year we're proposing $259. Paul Adams has told me when he left the town back in the early 90s to go into private industry as a young man, still young, that the EDU charge in the early 90s was $200. And when he came back 30 years later, he was shocked to find out that EDU charge was $187. How does that happen?
166.
How can you charge, it was $166, right. And there's a myriad of reasons for that. But if you don't fund the sewer plant and that business appropriately, when it rots, which it will, and it did in 17, we didn't have reserves of $20, $30, $40, $50 million to pay out of our reserves for those improvements for that rotting plant. And that's why we are going into debt. I gotta give Art a lot of credit that once he got on board, and he was very instrumental in bringing Rick Canale, our chief plant operator. Rick is phenomenal, and what he brought to the town back in 2021 was a vision of, hey, if you're going to have to fix this old stuff, why don't you try to fix it and make it technologically advanced for major cost savings and revenue production? And we were introduced as a town board to that concept of an energy performance contract. I'm going to be very honest with you. The first couple reactions was absolutely not. Never will we do that. That's not the way how municipal projects are done. And so we had to educate the board members and have one-on-ones and this and that. One of our board members, God bless him, who's not with us anymore, he was adamantly against it, but after hearing the benefits of it, he wanted to do every project that way.
He's just not at the table, he is with us.
Yeah, no, he's alive.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
Bill Abbott, we love you. But he saw like, wow, this is phenomenal, let's do every project. We're like, well, wait a minute, we can't do every project this way. It's a very specialized energy performance, you have to tie it to things. But when the town board listened to Art and Rick and went that angle, or that option, and it's counterintuitive. It cost more in the project, but it was going to cost the taxpayers less. Now that, come on, I'm an accountant, Paul, you're an accountant, that's not intuitive, right? That can't be. But it was, because those instead of just replacing the old toilet with a new toilet, we replaced and added some stuff that got us new revenue sources and had big cost cutting. And the combination of those things made essentially what we thought was going to be a $30 million asset replacement project. When we made it 50 or 60 million, it actually going to cost less than the 30 million. And we had to show that over a series of workshops and board meetings. Well, at the same time, Greater Rochester Enterprise is looking for Coke Fairlife. They got 12 states and 40 potential sites that they're going to build a plant at. And Fairlife, being a dairy producer, I didn't know this, is a major sanitary sewer producer. So much so that this town sewer plant, 45,000 citizens, 17,000 users, does about 3.1 million average gallons a day into that plant. When Coke Fairlife is up and running, Coke Fairlife will put 2 million gallons a day into that plant. That's how big they are. Coke Fairlife, when they looked at this site, they were so impressed by what we were building here that I truly believe in the regression equation of decision-making on those 40 sites in 12 states. They'll never tell us, but our state-of-the-art sewer, visionary sewer plant was what really sealed the deal to get them here. Now Art is leaving, and I think I've known Art. I knew him long before I worked with him here. Our daughters played lacrosse together, and he's going to the private industry, and they're lucky whoever gets him. And the reality is, and I've told Art this, is that the skill set Art has, he was the right man for the right time as we navigated that 8 years of the construction of this plant. Now we have an $11 million business that, to tell you the truth, we have to look long and hard as a town board of what is the type of leadership of that sewer plant going into the future. Because I'm going to tell you, if Xerox starts to subdivide and they sell off 40, 50, 100 acre parcels, there's going to be another Fairlife coming. So we already went from 17,000 users to about 29,000 now. Is it out of the realm of imagination we could hit 40,000 users in this sewer plant in the next 5+ years? That's a different business than what he took over in 2017. And the board, will have to look long and hard on what is that. We will not go, I'll tell you this, Art, you know this, we're not going to go out and get a construction manager as their background because he did that. And so it'll be very interesting. But I can't thank you enough. You did great.
Well, thank you.
And I appreciate it.
I also want to chime in because I have been liaison to the sewer department for a very long time. And Art and I have worked together on many of these projects, and I'm very proud that we're building a state-of-the-art facility which will take us into the next 30, 40, perhaps 50 years, and we're seeing the benefits of that, as you pointed out with Fairlife, in the years to come. And Art, both you and Rick have been, you were in place at the perfect time, and you guided us along that process. And I just want to thank you for imparting all of the knowledge about wastewater treatment that you have. And I've always said I'm way more knowledgeable about sewer plants than any girl really ought to be. But when Art calls me out and says, bring your boots, I bring my boots and hands me a hard hat and out we go. So Art, thank you very much, and I wish you nothing but the best.